What's up, guys? Welcome to the Command Dev Blog. So this is kind of to showcase my work in progress command system. There's still a lot of work left to be done and a lot of polish to be added. It's not feature complete, and some of the stuff is almost still in a debug state. However, I do feel that it is far enough to kind of show you guys an idea of what it's going to turn out and become. So for starters, to even activate the command system, you got to go to your emergencies on the CAD. Assign yourself to the call. Once you're assigned to the call, you can establish command. This works in multiplayer, and there can only be one person that has command for each scene at a time. So once that's started, you can kind of activate the second stage of this. Prior to us moving to this, I want to show off something else. In the CAD now, you'll have a list of all the units currently on the map and where they're assigned. These say not assigned because these are my test units in front of us and what they're doing. So if you're in a truck and you look into the lower left corner, you can see it says in quarters. You're able to go to responding, available, staging, on scene, and out of service now. I can't do that in editor because right now I have them set as the F1 through F5 keys, and it causes all kinds of different things to happen. However, if you click responding in the vehicle, it'll update the address the vehicle is headed to. So next up, we'll go into the actual command system. So everything goes through the drone mode pretty much. Once you're in charge of a scene, you'll see this new UI pop up. From this UI, you can do quite a few things. For starters, in your top left corner, you can see your current description and the address at which your command at. You can type in reports to ask, which you can say to Griffin Drive command engine 1 can report. This announce it globally. This is great for role-playing groups and stuff. Next up, there'll be an option in the host menu to put scenes manually under control. This is great also for RP groups or just anyone who wants to clean up their stuff or maybe finish clearing smoke out of structures before some of them go under control. Pass command does just that, removes you from command so someone else can take control. Upgrade box. This has two things that occur after you upgrade it. So you can upgrade anything from a working alarm all the way up to 5 or 6 alarms. I haven't decided on a max yet. With the AI/assistance people, you can place down a maximum of 2 per upgrade. So if you upgrade to a working alarm, you'll not have you'll still just have 2, but if you request a second alarm, you'll have 4 to put down, and so on, all the way up to 5 or 6 alarms, which will bring you 10 or 12 people. Eventually, there will be a timer. So when you hit upgrade box to second alarm, you still only have 2 people on scene to kind of get things done until that timer's up. You'll be able to handle every scene completely with just these assistance people. However, they are just assistance people. They're meant to help out the solo players. And I'll show you how they work in a second. So with the upgrade box, you click it, you now see working alarm, second alarm assignment, and this all updates in the CAD. So like if someone thought they saw a second alarm, they could open it and kind of see what's going on. So I have it set all the way up to 6 in here. Once again, that could change. So you can also click on your units. When this is all finalized, you'll be able to special request units. So let's say ladder 3s and quarters. You can click request and it'll say 2 Griffin Drive commands requesting ladder 3 respond to scene. I'd also like to set up custom boxes, which I may even do with dispatcher role as well. Pretty much how it would work is you would have a similar thing to this. You'd be able to see all of your units and stuff. And depending on the grid, it initially has, let's say it's 2 Griffin Drive, it'll say Station 3, and then you can click the other units you'd like to include on the box. So you choose 2 Griffin Drive, and then you would select, let's say, Rescue 6 and Ladder 7 or something. It'd say Stations 3, Rescue 6, Ladder 7, and then the description of the thing, like a box alarm. So more stuff for role players. Eventually, with the traffic system as well, the AI will be able to drive the trucks to the scene. I don't know if they're going to do anything else on their own. Like I said, most of this is kind of like an assistance thing for you as a player, not as like an independent. However, I do have plans to have some pre-set up units on some emergencies, so when you're dispatched, it can already seem like people are already on scene and you're the second alarm coming. So anyway, so in our AI menu, this is all I have set up so far. Not all of these work yet, and not all of them are feature complete, the ones that do work. So I'll give you an example of how this works. So you pick one you want, and you can kind of place them wherever you want, and they'll start spraying water in the general direction of whatever fire they're putting out. They slowly extinguish fires. Right click to go back to this. They do draw water from the nearest truck. If there's no truck present, they won't be able to spray water, and you'll get a message about it. They put out a random fire in the structure at a time, anywhere. So they're making slow progress throughout, which once again, it just helps you out as the player, or if it's a bigger fire with a smaller group of people, you'll be able to spawn in just to get some help. Some things I'd like to add is you would have to set up command post first, and you'd see them walk to wherever you set them up at. But when advanced pumping comes, these lines actually hook into certain connections, specific connections. So if there's no connections available, you wouldn't be able to use them. So for the forcible entry, how this works is you place this guy down, and throughout the building, they slowly force doors. You'll actually see a firefighter appear in front of the door before it breaks, and you'll play. Oh, here we go. Kind of caught the end of it, but they slowly force through all the doors in the structure. So the primary search people, there's a primary search and a secondary search. The primary search has like a low chance, I think it's like 50-60% chance of finding a victim if there is one. Which they take time to do a search of the whole building. And then it'll notify you if they find a victim. Once the primary search is complete, you can have a secondary search unit start. I think I only set up horizontal ventilation, and it's the same thing. They slowly take windows. You'll see a firefighter eventually appear on the inside. As you can see, that window just got taken. That little structure. So you'll see this guy kind of teleport around eventually to each window as he's taking it. The ventilate structure one, it's not really an AI person, but more like a command. So if you're just tired of setting up the fan, you don't have to. You can just hit ventilate structure, and it'll clear out the smoke for you once all the fire's out. Vertical, you'll also see a guy up here cutting the roof. That one's not set up yet. But that's kind of like the gist of how the command system works. eventually, like I said, they'll be able to help with every single emergency that I have. They're lightweight. The reason that they don't completely file the characters because it saves up a lot of memory. I don't have one nav mesh on the entire map, which pretty much a nav mesh, what it does is it kind of tells the AI where it can and can't travel, and that uses a lot of memory. So I completely eliminated that. Um, there's there's tons of benefits to this, and once again, all this fully works in multiplayer and everything else. So when the single player comes, these guys will play a bigger role. Pretty much how single player is going to work is you start out on Canton County. There'll be an XP system and a money system. You start out with your own firehouse. It's run down, it's destroyed. You don't have much equipment. Your engine sucks, and manpower's at an all-time low. As you as you complete emergencies and complete minor objectives and stuff in the emergencies, you get XP and money. I look at that as almost like a taxpayer increase kind of thing, to where the better you do, the more funding you get. You'll be able to buy more units, upgrade how effective your units are to help you on scenes and emergencies, and upgrade your firehouse and make it pretty much your personal firehouse how you want. Then you can expand and buy more firehouses. You'll be able to buy a player house and upgrade. Just I wanna make it just a fun side thing to do, but also have enough content that it could also be a main thing. So one of the last things I want to show today, I had the volume turned off because the smoke alarm's going off in that house. However, I want to show you what happens if you hit the evac tones. These are our real county evac tones. So I'm going to be changing the way fires work a little bit. Since when the AI people come, you'll have, I guess, a bigger group actively working. That I want fire conditions to be able to rapidly change for good, for better or worse. So as command, you're watching things get worse, worse, and worse, and then the smoke's going to change and everything, and you know that you should probably start pulling people out. They're not making no progress, and everything's just getting worse. So hit this button, and it orders an orderly evacuation. So that's pretty much it for this. I'll have the traffic dev blog very soon. And this update, the command and the traffic will be in the game next week. So thank you guys. Have a good one.